So you join the levy. I said you are helping the levy. Let me help you. Yeah.
Private members bill. The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024. Introduction and first reading. The Honorable Mariama Munir Zombo.
Are we live?
Yes, sir.
Please. Oh, yes. This is my bill. Honorable Mariama M. Zombo, before you proceed, let me take this opportunity to welcome our children to the House of Parliament. You are all heartily welcome here, and this bill is about you. We as parents are trying to protect you. We are trying to protect your future. That's why we are here. I also take this opportunity to welcome our women folks. Most of you were never protected by law. We as a House of Parliament assembled today are trying to right what was wrong in the past. So you are all also heartily welcome. And all those who are here purposely for this bill, you are all welcome. And even if we do not remember your deeds, this nation will certainly remember your deeds. Thank you very much. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I move that the bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the first time.
Honorable members, the question is that the bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the first time. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 has been read the first time. Second reading.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I move that the bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024, Memorandum of Object and Reason. The purpose of this bill is to prohibit child marriage, to provide protection for the victim of child marriage, and to provide for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the bill is divided into 7 parts. Part 1 provides interpretations. Part 2 prohibits child marriage in its entirety. Part 3 prohibits cohabitation. with a child. Part 4 annuls child marriage. And finally, Part 7 makes miscellaneous provisions for statutory instruments giving effect to this Act and that of consequential amendments to give uniformity in the legal system. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, there is a justification for the bill. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the bill gives us information about the menace of child marriage. In Sierra Leone, the prevalence of child marriage among adolescent girls is 39%, which means we have 39% of our adolescent girls who are girl brides or married in Sierra Leone. Before 18, and 13% of these girls are married before 15. And it will interest you to know, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that a few years ago, research proved that 7% of our boys marry before 18 years. Boys. So this bill is about girls and boys. The country has the 19th highest rate of child marriage globally, according to recent statistics by Save the Children. Child marriage prevalence also varies significantly across the different districts, but we're still waiting for evidence to show the prevalence in the different districts. Until recently, on Lake Island, evidence shows that 45% of adolescents are married. That's just a sample. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the bill cements the gains of and actualizes the goal of the Hands Off Our Girls campaign. The Hands Off Our Girls campaign is the biggest ever protection intervention for girls in Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our government, in collaboration with partners, launched a national strategy on the prevention of teenage pregnancy and ending child marriage in Sierra Leone, 2018 to 2022. One of the commitments in the strategy is to improve the policy and legal environment for the protection of adolescents. The strategy launched 2 rape, teenage pregnancy, child trafficking, mother-to-child transmission of HIV/AIDS, cervical cancer, and fistula, all in the bid to empower women and girls. The Hands Off Our Girls campaign is the biggest ever protection intervention and has reached thousands of girls, women, and communities in Sierra Leone. For 5 years down the line, the campaign contributed to legal, institutional, and structural reforms which have drastically curbed rape, discouraged early marriage, reduced teenage pregnancy, contributed to reducing transmission of HIV/AIDS and fistula in Sierra Leone. In addition, the campaign has delivered on the acquisition of 2 United Nations resolutions. One is access to justice for rape victims, and the UN Watch Day, November 18, for the prevention of and healing of victims of child sexual exploitation and violence. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, despite the progress on rape due to the Hands Off Our Girls campaign, child marriage seems to undo all these gains made due to the fragmentation of laws and loophholes within the existing laws, thereby continuing to be a major impediment to the campaign. The First Lady has been engaging major stakeholders, and the most recent was a high-level consultation which took place on the 19th of April 2024 at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Freetown. The key stakeholders all agreed to have a cohesive and formidable approach to a speedier enactment of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act into law through a private member's bill. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the bill touches on 5 acts which are relevant for child marriage or related sections are modified, repealed to harmonize issues of age, consent, appropriate penalties in order to do justice to the issue of child marriage. Now to the loopholes in these acts and the reason why we have to harmonize. The Child Rights Act 2007. It mentions prohibition of child marriage. It has the minimum age of consent, but the penalty clauses weaken the power of the Act. The Registration of Customary Marriage and Divorce Act 2009. It articulates child marriage and specifies the minimum age of consent, but this law has loopholes which permits an underage child, an under 18 child to marry with the consent of parents, guardians, and local authorities. This is the biggest loophole. The Christian Marriage Act, Cap 95 of the Laws of Sierra Leone, 1960, puts the minimum age of consent at 21, contrary to the minimum age of consent, which is 18, in the Child Rights Act and in the Registration of Customary Marriage and Divorce Act 2009. The Muslim Marriage Act, Cap 96 of the Laws of Sierra Leone, 1960, does not even indicate any age of consent. The Civil Marriage Act, Cap 97 of the Laws of Sierra Leone, 1960, does not have a provision for the evidence of age before issuing a marriage certificate to a contracting party. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in all of these 5 acts, relevant child marriage or related sections are modified or repealed to harmonize issues of age, consent, appropriate penalties in order to do justice to the issue of child marriage and end the menace in Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, child marriage has far-reaching impacts on our girls and boys in Sierra Leone. Let's start with education. Unplanned adolescent pregnancy triggers child marriage, and vice versa. Child marriage also leads to teen pregnancy, and both situations force girls out of school to care for babies, thereby losing their potential and losing out on education. Physical health. Consequently, because of child marriage, many adolescents are dying in hospitals because their body is not ready for sex and pregnancy. So when they give back to children, or when they go to the hospitals to give back to children, they come back with dead bodies. Infant mortality rate is improving, but still challenging, especially for adolescent girls. Maternal mortality also improving, but we still have issues with adolescent girls dying. Go to the mortuary and see how many adolescent girls are lying down there because they were forced to have children and also to marry. Again, the psychosocial, psychological, and physical pain and impact of obstetric fistula, STDs, HIV/AIDS, pregnancy, and postpartum complications adolescents face remain a major threat to their lives and to their generation. When we look at mental health, a little girl forced into marriage gets there, she doesn't want the man, but she has to comply, either because parents want to, or religious heads, or the custom and tradition, whatever prompts her, or maybe financial gains. She gets there, she doesn't love him. There's trauma, killing of dreams, and their aspirations. They come out mentally unstable. Finally, child marriage perpetuates a cycle of poverty. More babies, low education, less care for children, less educated youth, children of adolescents engage in drugs because the girls are girls. They cannot take care of children. Girls should be girls, not mothers. Hunger and poverty. Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, we have victims who are victors now. We have people who are ready to testify, girls, women who are ready to testify that child marriage has impacted them negatively. Some have lost their lives, some are alive, some are ready to testify. One of them testified yesterday. I would like the IT people to play a short clip. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I now move that the bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the second time. I thank you.
Honorable members, most of us, if not all of us, are parents of girl children. As we go through the stages of passing this particular bill into an act, let's subject ourselves to the mental picture of taking a look at our girls under 18 years and begin to imagine subjecting such little children to marriage. Let's exercise this kind of mental picture. Then we know exactly what we are dealing with today. It's happening all over Sierra Leone where these little girls have no choice. They have no capacity to say no. And some of them go through the throes of marriage. Missing a huge chunk of their childhood. Some of them are even wedded to old people, old enough to be their grandfathers. Let's just imagine, because when we take decision relating to children generally, let's imagine our children in such a picture. The kind of love we lavish on our girls. Let's just imagine that such girls, such little children that are our own are subjected to such abuse. That's the kind of mental picture I want honorable members to have even as we go through the stages of this particular bill. Honorable members, the question is that the bill entitled The Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 be read the second time. I particularly want to hear the voices of women in the house. Honorable Catherine Zainab Taran.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, permit me to say a very big thank you to the mover of this wonderful and unique motion. That is the Honorable Mariama Munia-Zombo from Kujauni State. Mariama, I called you. We want to say a very big thank you on behalf of the women of Sierra Leone and on behalf of the women of this house. All of us, we want to dub our hearts to you and we want to say thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as the chairperson of Gender and Children's Affairs Committee in this house, and as a mother of 3 beautiful girls, and as a woman of substance, I want to say a very big thank you to you first and foremost, the Speaker of this house, for joining us to women of Sierra Leone, for joining us to women to win, to table, to accept, to acknowledge, and to realize the benefits of this wonderful law. Mr. Speaker, we are not here to politicize, but we are here to unify the issue of women. Mr. Speaker, as we stand here this hour, I am a fulfilled woman because we started it all the way from the 5th Parliament to have a law that will stand the test of time, to have a law that will prohibit, that will safeguard, that will protect the life of our young folks in Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, in 2019 in Nairobi, His Excellency the President, Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, signed the treaty that he will pass the prohibition of child marriage against 2020. And today is 2024. It's better late than never. Mr. Speaker, it is better late than never. I am the most happy, if English could permit me, those who read English, the happier woman among all the women. I said it because I know the subject and the verb. Not my brother is here, but I know what I mean. Mr. Speaker, honorable member, it started yesterday when the First Lady of this country, Her Excellency, Mrs. Fatima Maada Bio, started a project called the Answer for Girls. If we talk about the prohibition of child marriage without making mention of that particular project, it is like we are not paying credence to what she has done as a real woman of this country. Mr. Speaker, I am impressed. People will say, what is she talking about? I am talking about Sierra Leone. I am talking about the enhancement of girls. I am talking about the movement and freedom of girls. I am a Northerner, Mr. Speaker, a bona fide Northerner.
Mr. Speaker, I see strangers standing up. Sorry, I know you are on the flight. Land quietly with the parody articles. Mr. Speaker, I'm seeing, I cannot say sorry on road, but I'm seeing strangers in the chamber standing, they don't know documents from MPs, which is unaccepted.
They are doing what?
I say taking attendance, I don't know what is happening. So who is that standing there? Are you staff? Yes. Are you assembly in the chamber? Yes. So Mr. Speaker, I don't want to bring it to your notice that we can only allow members who are assigned by the Speaker to involve in any dealings that has to do with the chamber.
It's all right. If you want to do anything in the chamber, you bring that to my attention.
Yes, yes.
You seek my approval. This is my chamber.
And when the liberator speaks, nobody here. Thank you very much. We are one generals, nothing changes that. They are doing it for the good of everybody. And that's what he is doing.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker.
We don't know what he's general.
You will know very soon. At least we are not gardeners, not so?
No. We are generals. Thank you very much, my leader. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I was acknowledging her First Lady for a tremendous work that she has done for Sierra Leone. In 2017 and 2019, the First Lady, in 2019, we launched the Answer for Girls in Bombali. And Bombali is the headquarters town of the northern region. It was highly launched, everybody was there, all paramount of the region were there. We supported a campaign, and today, that wonderful daughter of our First Lady has given us a unique, a beautiful, a great child. And what is the child? It's the prohibition of child marriage. The prohibition of child marriage, she cannot bring to us here in Parliament. She's not an MP. She will only try her best to campaign us, members of Parliament, to pilot, as it is our role, as you initially said, that you will campaign us, you will convince us, you will try for MPs to bring private member motion. I want to say a very big thank you to Madam First Lady for bringing all of us on board. It is not the bill of the SLPP. It is not the law of the ruling government. It is the law that will stand the test of time. It is the law that will stand to protect our girls. It is the law that will protect all of them in that gallery. It is the law that will protect my children's children. And it is the law that will make Sierra Leone a unique nation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, according to UNICEF, 35% with your leave of Sierra Leonean girls married before the age of 18 before their birthday. That is statistics. And Mr. Speaker, UNICEF and UNFPA globally, they pinpoint on Sierra Leone to accelerate action on the end of child marriage. As a country, Sierra Leone is the 5th highest child marriage prevalence globally, with 44% of girls married before age 18 and 18% married before age 15. All the situation for our girls can appear bleak, especially post-Ebola epidemic. It is encouraging to note the decline in child marriage rates from 56% in 2006 to 44% in 2016. The decline shows the progress in possible and is now showing time to act decisively and decisively. Mr. Speaker, we are acting decisively because today, we in this house, we are seeing Sierra Leone as a country that needs to grow, that as a country that needs to eliminate other countries that are doing this. Countries like Ghana, countries like Nigeria, countries like Ethiopia, Kenya. Before today, they have what we call the prohibition of child marriage. And if Sierra Leone is following them, it is not new. It is a law that will stand the test of time. We are a member nation into the Convention of the Rights of the Child. We are a member nation into the CEDAW, and we are a member nation into the Beijing Platform. All of these laws are there to protect women. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our anthem in Africa says, all across the nation, all around the world, women are longing to be free. No longer in the shadows, but forced to stay behind, but side by side in true equality. Are we not Sierra Leoneans? Are we not unique? Are we not wonderful? Are we not part and parcel of this country's development? Are we not in the majority of Sierra Leone? 52% of the nation are women. So why? Why now? It is now because it is now that the woman that loves Sierra Leone is here to rescue Sierra Leone. It is now because it is now that we have a woman who supported her husband to support and to build a country that is called Sierra Leone. We are here to have a law, and in this law, everybody at the end of the day will say, oh, I was there yesterday. All of us, 148 members of 49, we are here today to make history, and we are making history with a private member's posture. It's a history that the Speaker of Sierra Leone, as new as he is, as the Speaker of the 6th Parliament, but he's making history for Sierra Leone. So, honorable members, it is not political. Honorable members, it is not green. Honorable members, it is not red, but it's what? The green, the white, and the blue. Let us all join hands together to support this wonderful dream. Let us all join hands together to see the law that will protect our girls. All of us here are parents. Nobody in this world is not a parent. All honorable members, we have girls, and we want them to attain the highest level of education that we have among us. So why can't support this wonderful bill for our children's children to see the light of the day? Mr. Speaker, as I speak, we have a video that is running down social media. It's telling us that the northern region is still far from development, especially the northeastern region. 2 days ago, I saw a video from Falaba, where a man was there to look into the situation of girls' education into Falaba. And unfortunately for him, he saw over 500 kids in the Warrens not going to school. So that tells you at age 15 they are wives. That tells you at 14 they are wives, according to the culture of that particular region, where some of us came from. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we were victims, and today we are victors. Yes. We are supporting this because we are victors. We are supporting this because we are victors and we are here to testify what happened. And we are here to tell the nation that we have agreed to move Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, before I conclude, I know it's an abuse for the people that are watching me, the Falaba people and the Koinalugu people. But please join us. Let us join hands together to protect the lives of the unknown children, to protect the lives of the vulnerable kids of Falaba. I am campaigning for Falaba because I was born in Kabbalah town. So anything that happens in Falaba is the same like Koinalugu district. So join me as we move Falaba. Let us have what we call a free and quality education that is the bedrock of this country, this particular government, so that those kids will benefit what my kids are benefiting, will benefit what all of our kids are benefiting. Don't talk. With your leave, in conclusion, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2024 is not just a legal document. It is a commitment to the future of our nation. It is a declaration that will stand by a while of our children, the life of children that have been robbed off, the rights of the children that have potential that have been run away with. Let us all come together across party lines, Mr. Speaker, to pass this bill and take a decisive step towards a brighter, a healthier, and a more prosperous future for all Sierra Leoneans, because the health of our children is our concern. The education of our children is our concern. Their shelter is our concern. Their living is our concern. Honorable members, the line is free. Debates for Sierra Leone. Thank you. Let's talk for the benefit of children. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Captain Zainab Charlie, the Chair of the Gender Affairs Committee. Thank you very much. I must state that I'm extremely impressed. That you have said everything that we should be saying here. You have said everything.
Thank you.
So the mere fact that I'm seeing so many MPs standing now, she has said everything. What else do we have to say? So I'm only going to take words from here.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, about what you said. But the contribution I want to make is
Please, no technicalities. Honorable Kelly, no technicalities.
Mr. Speaker,
no, I don't want to do. No, it's good.
I have been informed. And I do firmly believe that there's some people even started mentioning section 170 subsection 3.
I'm not mentioning it,
Don't even try. Don't even try that. Because I know as a matter of fact that the drafters of our constitution, the drafters, hold on, please sit down. Let me just dispel that before we make any progress. I have been informed that some people even started raising questions around 170 subsection 3 of our national constitution. This address is for those who have such intention
to bring it up,
to raise questions relating to this. And this is to educate social media lawyers. Let me tell you, the drafters of the 1991 Constitution did not anticipate any custom that is unconscionable. In law, we say unconscionable. Any custom that is bad, that is not reasonable, is what we mean by unconscionable. We have traditions, we have customs, even in Sierra Leone, where when the paramount chief dies, somebody must be buried with that paramount chief. It's a very strange custom. I will not name the tribe. That person must be buried alive with the paramount chief. That's the custom in Sierra. So, do you want to say because the 1991 Constitution said custom related to a particular group of people, so you want us to accept that? That was what we call an unconscionable custom. Those are not the kind of customs that the Constitution is referring to. The Constitution is referring, the drafters of the Constitution were referring to those conscionable customs and traditions, not those that are unconscionable. If you had any reason to refer to that particular provision of the Constitution, you should have done so during the Child Rights Act, during the 3 gender bills, during certain laws, even the Sexual Offences Act. You should have done so ever since. But 170 subsection 3 did not anticipate unconscionable customs. Let me say that for the edification of social media lawyers, so that before you even start, you know what the real issues are. So as far as this one is concerned, there are no technicalities. There are absolutely no technicalities. The provisions there are written in plain and simple language for us all to understand. And the issues that are here are the very issues we interact with every day. All of us. In my own area where I come from, each time I go to these villages, during my MP days, when I go to these villages, I see young girls as young as probably 18 years who would have given birth to 3 children. Just imagine, as young as 18 years, she would have given birth to 3 children. As young as, I've seen a lady as young as 21 years, she had given birth to 5 children. So even before they begin to live their lives, their bodies are already exhausted. Their bodies are already exhausted. They were not given the opportunity to live as children. They were forced into adulthood at very early ages, very tender ages. They are all over the place. We all know these are issues we interact with every day. If we go to our villages, we see these issues, we see them.
Speaker, this your debate is very powerful.
So, this bill is not written in complex language. It is written in a very simple language about issues we interact with every day. So, honorable members, like I said earlier, this is my bill. This is my bill. So I'm craving your indulgence to tolerate me. Tolerate me. Yes, the leader of the opposition.
You have truly demonstrated that it is your bill.
Yes.
For you to come second on the debating list. Just to add to what you say,
yes.
There is
nothing at all.
Because a customer in law cannot go ahead.
Of course.
A customer in law cannot go ahead.
Because they said somebody raised it, and I said no, nobody can raise that where I'm seated. They said somebody raised this somewhere, and I said, who is that? Because I just wanted to know the person that raised it. And I said, somebody needs to raise that where I am seated.
We need serious backup.
Where I'm seated. Because I have not only been a lawyer, I have been a practicing lawyer. And I've interacted with most of our laws. I've interacted with them. I have tested the efficacy of laws in this country. So nobody's going to tell me anything strange. So please, honorable members, please tolerate me to take one from here and one from here, and we move on. Yes.
Point of order. Point of order. Please.
Yes.
Can I get the mic? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I can understand you have expressed your concern and passed on its feelings, which all of us do. And for the past 1 month, the ladies in the house, they have been preparing themselves for this very day today.
Thank you.
We are not in question. I mean, in fact, what you have done is to soften the issues that have to do with misinformation and a well-landed and practiced lawyer for no misstanding. I mean, I can still refer to you when I was introducing you during the time of your elections. I said, Mr. Speaker, the Senior Paul Solomon Thomas Chamber, with over 20 professional barristers in his possession. But not today, I know you are not going to the court. I also said in all the contributions that ex-jurors choose no orator.
You want to bring contribution?
No, yes, I'm coming now. I'm landing, yes. You have made your ruling, so I have to be careful when appealing to you. You have V42. So I'm pleading with you that using the rule of law and they are prepared, we just give timing. Yes. That we go to the committee stage at a particular time, let them talk. Because they made a plea with me. I talked to the opposition leader. I tell you, wanted to do that. That let us show some understanding. But they give the ladies in the house opportunity to speak.
Where are you for? Where are you for?
I'm coming. No, I'm coming. That is the situation of Mr. Speaker. I'm talking on behalf of the ladies in the house. Let them give them an opportunity. If it costs me, if you even want me not to wrap up, I can give that opportunity to the lady to wrap up.
For the men.
For the men, yes, thank you.
Accepted. Now, for the men.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
We are going to have, hold on. We are going to have two great men to contribute. The leader of the opposition and the leader of government business.
I'm a for she.
No other men.
No, I'm a for she.
No other men.
Where are you for she?
You have to. No other men.
Where are you for she? Where are you for she? We are protecting the poor.
I want to join my body.
Mr. Speaker, I want you for she and take out.
Allocate according to the SO 13.
Yes, time.
Allocate specific time and have
okay, honorable leader, what time do you suggest?
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah,
Strictly 5 minutes?
Mr. Speaker, I want to be fair.
Yes.
For the ladies, we give them maximum 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yes. For the men, you give them 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, ladies 7 minutes, men 3 minutes. Let me start.
Mr. Speaker, before you start, please.
Yes.
Yeah, before you start, please.
Yes.
I just I sometimes don't want to do work as a deliverance because it's spoken and I'm with them.
Yes.
We give them the chance. But let us make sure we caution our response.
Yes.
So that we're not repeating ourselves.
Yes.
Because the member of this motion and the chair, they've said almost everything. But because they are still trying to say something, you proved already for 7 minutes. But let us not repeat ourselves.
Yes. So, honorable members, you know my stance on time and brevity. You know, the leader of government business has pleaded that we proceed with the debate. So please don't say that Mr. Speaker has kept you here. We are going to debate. But please make sure you don't repeat what somebody else has said. Because if somebody has mentioned that this part, you go to another part. You go to another part. Yeah, let me hear. Yes. Let me hear your honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to first of all thank the First Lady of this nation.
Yes.
Because she came out boldly to tell us about her own experience as a child, knowing her husband at the age of 12. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, most of us here in this room have gone through what she went through, but we are shy to talk about it.
Yes.
So she started giving us the heart to start to think over what we have gone through. And that little girl who came out, Khadija also, to tell us about her own experience, what she has gone through. I want to gulp my heart out to them. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I was discussing this bill with a man and he told me, so does it mean that as long as you are not cohabiting with a child, you should have sex with that child? I told him no. And I'm very happy that these children are here this morning. Most of them with their parents listening to us. We have been taking our time to go through this bill, to have it done, just to protect them. But sometimes you hear the men say, SO2 now, they run after me for money. Please, children, I want you to know that these men, they have their own families, they have their own future. Stay away from them. You see, your breasts are very firm up now. As soon as they touch you, you become pregnant, they start calling your breast SO2 well egg, dry egg. Yes, they leave you now and start looking for well egg, farm breast, those who are farm breast. So please be careful. Avoid these men and their money. If you are educated, you have your own money. Men will come looking for you when you have your own money. So please, Mr. Speaker, I want the men of this nation to know that having sex with a child, even if you are not cohabiting with that child, it contradicts the child right.
We have serious laws.
You not have sex with a child in this country. It's a crime.
Let me hold on, honorable. Let me just make this clear. This law is only taking care of gaps. It's only taking care of the gaps in the Child Rights Act and other acts. You know there are gaps. But there are farm laws relating to having affairs with children under 18 years. They are very serious laws. So of course they can't escape those laws. So proceed.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this bill is not only about girls, it's about our children. You have women who abuse small boys.
Why the excitement?
We are victims, Mr. Speaker. Mr.
Mr. Speaker, the honorable member is speaking exactly from our book. She's just taking a leaf from our book. We were abused, but we refused to talk. And today she has opened up.
Proceed, honorable.
And some of these small boys run after elderly women because of money. It's not only the girl child that is running after them because of money. Yeah. You have boys running after women, elderly women who are well placed, so that our children can. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the floor.
Thank you very much.
I hope our children will go home with some sense.
Thank you very much. Mama Bangura, also.
Oh, we have guys.
Yes. Second attack, change to the generator. Yes. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the necessary passage of the Prohibition of Child Marriage Bill in Sierra Leone. This is not only a bill, but it gives or it's a beacon of hope to our children, especially the girls that are mostly the victims. Mr. Speaker, honestly, in Sierra Leone, laws are mostly, we make fine laws in Parliament, but my own concern is the administering of these laws. We hope after making this bill, the law be a fine or a jail term for any parents that debar a child from going to school. Okay. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, what are our hopes? We want our children to have a better place in the future. And as mothers, we are happy that this bill is here before us. And we want to allay all see a better Sierra Leone. We want to see a better Sierra Leone. So on that note, Mr. Speaker, this is a fine bill. Let us all put hands on deck and pass it in this house into law. Thank you.
Honorable Marama Bangura, Honorable Lolo Tunge. Honorable Lolo Tunge.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I start to talk, I would like to say thanks to Her Excellency and the husband and all those who were involved to the success of this bill. But before I continue, Mr. Speaker, I want to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Mr. Speaker, let me use the opportunity to thank Her Excellency Mrs. Fatima Maharebio for her tremendous, relentless moves towards empowering the women and girls of our beloved country. She is indeed a strong believer in women empowerment as key to a sustainable development. Her flagship Hands Off Our Girls campaign has reduced sexual violence and child marriage. She also advocated for the free sanitary pads in schools and championed the annual United Nations World Day for the prevention and healing from the child sexual exploitation, abuse, and violence. For all of this, and again, and even more, I want to say, Madam Fatima Bio, we are grateful, and thank you, God bless you. So, now to business proper. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, child marriage is horrible. Child marriage is not good. As we all, I think, are old enough to have remembered that in the provinces, actually it doesn't happen in big towns though, but in the provinces you will see a pregnant woman and a man from nowhere will just say, SO2, if na pikin, na girl child, na my wife. And just today, he will keep on supporting that lady until she puts to bed. And if the child is a girl, she's going to continue. And at the age of 5 or 6, that implement it. be very sure in the early possible future there's going to be a female president in this country. Trust me. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to assure Her Excellency that we are taking this bill to the last village of Sierra Leone and even beyond. And it is easy to do so. Because if you want, because all these girls, young girls that are here, they were just looking for tools to protect themselves. And I'm going to call upon all my kids, my schools there, and I'm going to call all the Soweis, put them together, and explain to them that this bill has come up to protect the mothers and the kids. And trust me, they don't have phones there, they don't have radios probably. But I said it yesterday that the best publicity is from the mouth to the ear. When you say that to a child, the child is going to report to the mother is going to tell her best friend, and so on and so forth. So we are going to actually protect this bill and make sure all those perpetrators, I call them pedophiles, they will be brought to book, because if a child doesn't want to talk, they will take the report to the teacher, and the teacher definitely will go to the police, and then case is, the problem is solved. So on behalf, So, Mr. Speaker, I want to end up with this, that these actually the implications that I have just narrated, Mr. Speaker. These are just few deadly effects I highlighted, but we must understand that all children have the right to care and protection, to develop and grow into complete and full individual regardless of their social economic situation. Child marriage is indeed a blatant violation of all these girls. Mr. Speaker, trust me, I want to say thank you again once more to Her Excellency for this wonderful idea, and God bless her. Thank you.
Let me hear two men, initially, Honorable Benjamin Toure and Honorable AKK.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, as Mr. Speaker, I like to say, this bill is our baby bill. It's a special bill to us as a member of Parliament. We want to say a big thanks to our First Lady, Dr. Fatima Jabibio, for Parliament. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I call her a champion for girls. And Mr. Speaker, contravening a child is a crime as the members of 4th Estate. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, child marriage is a wicked practice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. Mr. Speaker, honorable member, I call upon this House to support this bill as the members of Parliament. As members of Parliament, we need to pass strong laws that can protect our children. A person who enters into a marriage with a child is a criminal and a very wicked. Which is liable not less than 25 years imprisonment. Mr. Speaker, and other members, on that note, I want to thank you.
Honorable AKK. Okay. Leader, do you want to say something? I feel like, why are men interested in so much?
To educate the women in those schools, the kids in those schools.
How many parents will you educate on this bill? How many traditional leaders will you call to attention for this bill? You know, it is interesting. The children are our future. See, let's train them well. Let them live. Let them show us how childhood was. I know of a lady. She was the best in her class in mathematics. She was the best. By the time we could reach Form 3, she was no more in class. This is how painful it is. Our women are our dignity. Today, if you look at all the women in this world, and if you listen to them, you see intelligence. Imagine if they were deprived of this opportunity. Where will they go? And today, go all over social media. They say, you're not born, you're not married. Why go before for them? That is so insulting on our women. And it is also very men that test them when they are not right for marriage. We test them when they are not right for sexual activities. What do you expect? You cannot eat your cake and have it. Because they are women. They are here because they represent a huge chunk of this society. And they are here to make sure they pass strong laws that will protect women. Hey, if you are here and you left this world, this particular 30% of women cannot influence women laws, cannot influence positive steps for women, it is better you have not come to this parliament. We sacrifice our space as men so we can address issues of women. This is one, a private member bill. Mr. Speaker, with the appetite you have for women, with the choice of your words in this debate today.
Yes, I have appetite.
You know, I know my liberator well. I know my liberator well. I am sure if the women will come together and bring us more bills that protect women, that put women in driving seats, that put women in position of authority, in position of safeguarding their prestige, I am sure we, the men in this world, will not only support, we will follow up and will put words to action. As part of my commitment to this bill, when it is assigned, I will ensure I take personal responsibility to educate my people in Gambia district. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable AKK. You have made my day. You have made my day. Well, I'm seeing. Mr. Speaker, can I observe? Oh, who's observing?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable. Yes, Honorable. Yes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Yes. What is very clear. I'm not debating. But what is very clear, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that this bill is being piloted by women, and it's very clear that her first lady is here, and lots of other women, they actually want to make their position known. But it's very clear from the mover of the bill, and then from the chair lady, the chairperson of the gender committee, it's very clear that we know their position. They want this bill to be passed. They've pushed very, very hard. So the public is actually looking forward to know and to see what is the position of the men in this house. Because we need to commit ourselves to supporting this particular bill.
Thank you very much.
So I recommend, Mr. Speaker, that he give more opportunity to the men.
Give that to me.
Thank you.
That's a clever way of putting it. Yes, the chief whip of the Republic of Sierra Leone Parliament is up. After the chief whip, I will allow the paramount to.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for me catching your eye. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, from the day Madam Fatima Bio was pronounced wife of Dr. Julius Maada Bio, I knew the women of this country are being liberated. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in 2018, when His Excellency was pronounced President of Sierra Leone, and by extension, Madam Fatima Bio becoming the first lady of this country, I knew this country was going to stand the test of time in terms of poverty women bill. Today, we are here to look at one of the most important bill in the lives of women in this country. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me tell this House that this is not the first bill Madam Fatima Bio is piloting in this well. When we are about to debate the 30% gender, let me inform this House that she played a very, very big role in making sure that this House approved the 30% for women. In fact, before that, she championed the party's law to make sure that SLP produced the 30%. And she supported all the women that were given a symbol for SLP. So let the nation know that this is not the first time Madam Fatima is fighting for women. Until 1982 or 83, I paid school fees, bought bags and everything for my younger sister. Little did I know that she was pregnant. And since then, she has not got the courage to go back to school. It's a pity. Like Honorable AKK said, some of our sisters, our mothers will have been the first ladies of this country. But because our fathers and uncles were behind them, making sure that they don't go further with their education. So I believe, honorable members and Mr. Speaker, this bill is here to stay and it will implement this bill to the letter. But Mr. Speaker, let me hasten to say this. If you want this bill to be protected, if you want to make sure that the perpetrators are taken to court, we have to be very careful in the time of registration. In time of voter registration, that is the time we will go to our constituency and register kids below 14, 15 to vote. And when that happens, let me give you an example. I was in my village when a man was brought to the local court for the same underage sex. The girl just went to the court and take out her voter ID card. He said, I'm above 18. That was the end of the matter. Because the voter ID card is one important identification. When we want to register kids below 18 years or below 16, I will say they are 18 because they wanted to vote. When those type of incidents come, so it will be very difficult to catch. Because the ID card will say I'm above 18, and if you allow me to vote, I'm above 18. So we the politicians have to be very careful when registration times come to know who we can register. Otherwise, this bill has no place in the society. So please, and the other thing, Madam, honorable members, we have to look at very clearly is ourselves, the parents, the guardians. Let us make sure that they get this bill gets into their head, because there is no way we are going to compromise. But one of the areas we have to very be careful with is the police and the court. You can charge, you can arrest. For the police to charge, it will take time. And even when the police charge for us to go to court, that's the time the drag will come up. You get the magistrate to say no, they will keep postponing until everybody gets tired. So I want to ask Madam First Lady for us to get a special court to be prosecuting those matters. Because if we say we are going through the normal court, it will be very difficult. We find a lot of experiences wherein men are being arrested for child rape. The matter will drag for so long until the parent gets tired. So my request is for us to have a special court that will try those matters speedily. Because when once we set one, two, three examples, believe me, we get this bill implemented properly. Otherwise, I'm afraid it will not get us anywhere. So one of my appeals is two. One, they do registration, then let's be careful who register. Secondly, let's have a special call for the trials of those matters. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Paramount Chief. After Honorable Paramount Chief, the lady, yes, let me hear you. I think you are the youngest there. Among your elders. Proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to talk. I'm talking on behalf of my colleague Paramount Chiefs. Because this bill, the content of this bill, we definitely have to land in our race. Because we have been named, we are the traditional leaders, they say we compromise this and that for child marriage. It is here. So most people have said all what I have to say, most of what I have to say. It's just our commitment. I'm making this commitment on behalf of my colleague Paramount Chiefs. Because in the first place, when our First Lady was launching her campaign for the enhance of our guards, we were her champions. She nominated all of us, all the Paramount Chiefs of this country. So if this bill has come up again, two things. One, the commitment to for the Paramount Chiefs, on behalf of the Paramount Chiefs, that we have to follow this bill to the letter when it comes to our race. Secondly, that it is popularized. Everybody is saying they will take this to their constituencies. I hope that will be the case. But I am appealing that it is properly popularized so that all the chiefs, all the Paramount Chiefs of this country will know that there is something in this bill that hinges on our support. So that is my commitment. That is what I have to say in addition to all what you've said. I pledge our commitment to this bill.
Thank you very much, Honorable Paramount Chief. I can say with all authority that for this bill to go around this entire country within 10 days, engage the Paramount Chiefs and the members of Parliament. Engage the Paramount Chiefs and the members of Parliament within 10 days, I can assure you, within 10 days, the whole nation will be alert to this particular bill. Engage the Paramount Chiefs and the members of Parliament. No other authority in Sierra Leone can do that. No other authority in Sierra Leone can do that. Within 10 days, the whole nation will be alert to this particular law. Yes, let me hear you, young lady. After her, I'm going to take two men again.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I'll take Honorable Tambakeli and Honorable Mojo. No, the leaders, you are a special case. Sit down. Leaders, you are a special case.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, once again, I am Honorable Siama Hawabi Amatomi, Mukonodish. Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today we have before us a bill of emancipation. I call it a bill of emancipation because it gives freedom, it gives hope, it gives assurance. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when this bill is implemented, it is going to set free a lot of women, boys and girls, from their servitude called marriage. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, child marriage is a cancer that is eating through the fabric of society. And it is undermining the very foundation and leading to long-term negative consequences, such as perpetuating poverty, limiting educational opportunities, and even health risks such as fistula, and some can even lead to death because their organs are not fully matured for childbearing and marital affairs. Mr. Speaker, I stand here before you not only as a member of parliament, but as somebody that has been there and seen it all. On June 6, 2016, Mr. Speaker, I became a bride. And for almost 3 years, I was a complete housewife. And I know what it means to be a housewife at an early age. It is something, I was not forced to get married. I was not forced. But I was brainwashed to believe that marriage was the only way out. It is difficult. It is really heart-rending to sit by and watch your dreams and aspiration washed away. I was in that position. Until 2018, when I decided that it is enough and I have to take a different path. I went out of that marriage. I walked out of it with an open chest. Nobody was there to support me because my father was the president of the masjid and people were piling pressure on him, so it is against the Islamic law. You cannot divorce, you cannot separate. And I told them, if you cannot accept me here, I'm willing to go out to the streets because I was determined. I was lucky enough to go through childbirth without any complication. I have a 7-year-old son without any complication, Mr. Speaker. But I can tell you, there are women and girls out there that are suffering. There are people that could not make it out. Some of them died during childbirth. Some of them could not be here today to testify, but I'm here. The reason why we are speaking out is because we have a dynamic first lady. For somebody in that position, somebody that is occupying that kind of office, to stand before you and tell you our ordeals that I went through this, I was in that position, it gives you hope to speak out. Because there are other people out there that need to listen. There are other people out there that needs to know it's not over until you get over. It's not over until you get what you want. Mr. Speaker, I said to myself in September 2018 that it is not over until I get what I want. I went back to school. I took the WAS and I went to IPA. Because I was determined, it is not an opportunity that because the Gili Act was passed, it was part of my goals. I was determined that I want to be somebody great. I want to be somebody that people remember, not for the negative things, but for the positive things. So I pursued my goals of becoming a member of parliament. And I succeeded. And I am here today to join the First Lady, to serve as a voice to other young ladies out there. When people look at me, they tell me that I'm lucky, I tell them that I am not lucky. I am determined. Because you know my face, you don't know my story. I have a story. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable member, First Ladies have come and gone. Some of them we don't even remember their names. But for our dynamic First Lady here, what adjective can we give you? Should we say industrious? Should we say charismatic? What about empathic? Must we say courageous? Must we say pragmatic? Must we say powerful? Must we say determined? Resilient? Persistent? I can go on and on and on, Mr. Speaker. She is a great woman. And I am blessed to be in this generation, to witness the great, I don't even know what to say, to witness this great woman. And Madam First Lady, even after His Excellency's term will be over, your name will never be forgotten. You will always be in our hearts. You gave me the courage to stand up and talk about something that I've never spoke about before. I want to thank you for that. And Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this bill, after the enactment and the implementation of the bill, I think the most important area that I'm more concerned about is clause 22.2 of this bill. There are a lot of people that will really want to come out. There are a lot of people that will want to be free. Because I know people, I have colleagues that we got married together in the same year. Each time, when I see them, they're even older than me now. We are the same age mate, but you know, the responsibility of being a married woman is too much on them, and they were not fully prepared to get married. So some of them tell you, I really want out, but I don't have a place to go. I cannot speak out. My parents will disown me. So 22-2 for me will be the most important part of this bill, because the psychosocial support will be something that these victims will need. We need to talk about the rehabilitation. We need to talk about preparing them to introduce them back to society. They've been living a different life. We need to prepare them. And if we don't have shelters, if we don't have homes to keep these girls or these women, because they are now women, if we don't have homes to keep them, if we don't have support to give them, trust me, we'll have a lot of women on the streets. Because these are women that will be on the streets fending for themselves, because they have no families to go to. They have no homes to go to. And they have children that they have to fend for. So let us ensure that we monitor the line ministry, the Ministry of Social Welfare that will be charged of implementing the site. We need to take this part very seriously. If we are talking about annulment of marriages, if you are annulling somebody's marriage, what are you preferring? What are you preferring? Ensure that the homes are there. Ensure that the structures are there, because they need to be rehabilitated. Some of us, we survived because we are determined. I didn't have psychosocial support because I never talked about it to people. There are a lot of people in this house that don't even know about this until today. I don't talk about my problems because there was a time when I decided to talk about it. Somebody used it against me. Oh, SO2, you're not frustrated, you're just speaking. Yeah, so people don't talk about it. So in the morning, when I wake up in the morning and look at myself in the mirror, I applaud myself. Because I got here by working hard. It wasn't added over onto me on a silver platter. I worked hard for it to get to this point. I would have accepted my fate. Okay, I'm a married woman now. But I did not. I was determined. And I really want to speak out. Let's help other people. Let's give them hope. This is about liberating people. The child marriage is a cancer. But the good thing now, we have a cure. And this is the cure. This is the prevention. It is both a prevention and a cure. Let's run with this. Let's popularize this. It is something that is happening. Even right now, as we are talking, I'm sure there is somewhere that his child is being forced to get married. It is something that happens on a daily basis. Let's popularize this. Let's take this as our own. It is very serious. On that note, Mr. Speaker, Pekito married. Let's for stop. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tommy. That was powerful. That was powerful. You know, the good thing is that this particular bill is coming from Parliament through the support of Her Excellency the First Lady. That's the good thing about it. And I wish members of Parliament to know that this is a very huge project. This project is resource intensive. Passing the bill is just the starting point. Like she said, we need hope. We need support to these victims. So it's a very huge project. In fact, we need to involve CSOs at chiefdom levels. We need to make sure we place officers in each chiefdom to monitor what's happening in these chiefdoms. Because something can happen way there in Palabar, like the chair was saying, and we'll be here, we wouldn't know. So we need people in all of these chiefdoms. We need to engage CSOs in the chiefdoms to talk about these things so that we can correct them. But it's a very huge project, I must say. This project is extremely huge and cash intensive. Let's exercise our minds. on this particular fact. Yes, Honorable Tambakele.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Tambakele from Kono District. Mr. Speaker, this bill is timely as it addresses issues that have been discussed already, debated by honorable colleagues. In that respect, let me express my profound appreciation to the originator of this bill and to our First Lady for her tireless effort in promoting the welfare, not just of women, children, but of all of us in this country. And Madam First Lady, thank you for the effort you're making. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be very brief. Let me take my cue from you when you mention about implementation. And for this reason, I want to pivot on section 27, which says the minister may by statutory instrument make rules for giving effect to this act. Mr. Speaker, there is a saying in English, the devil is always in the detail. It is these regulations that are going to implement, expand, dilate the bill when it becomes law, the law. Well, eventually, we're going to pass it anyway. Mr. Speaker, I do propose that this section is subject to a proviso that any such regulations made by the minister must first be vetted by a committee appointed by the Parliament before being laid. And the reason is simple. As you all know, honorable members, the statutory instrument is simply a regulation delegated law.
Hold on 1 minute. You know, I gave a ruling here that I was going to put together a committee to be looking into some of these issues. Let me assure you that at the next sitting, I'm going to announce that committee. To look into statutory instruments, to look into laws we pass here before they are finally printed. I will announce that committee at the next sitting. Just proceed.
Yes, great for me.
And to even look into agreements and protocols we ratify here.
Yeah, great for me.
Because I have come to realize that some of those protocols and agreements we pass here or we ratify here, some of them even conflict with other laws. We need to be looking at all of these issues.
Absolutely.
Yes, time to proceed.
Yeah, absolutely. Shall I say, Mr. Speaker? Absolutely. That's my point. We need to make sure whatever regulations are made are consonant with the Act. When this bill finally, you recall all of us, honorable members, the rigmarole we had with the regulations placed before this House by the Minister of Labour. We all remember the cantankerousness surrounding that. We had to ask him to take it down because we were not sure some of the provisions in the regulations, whether they were consonant with the Act or reinforce my sincere appreciations to the originator of this bill and also again to our First Lady for the tireless effort. She's indeed.
After Honorable Moy Joy, I want to hear the leaders. Leaders who are interested in debating this. Then after that, we'll go to our women again.
That target from a visionary, from a futuristic point of leadership. And therefore, I want to take this opportunity at this moment to extend my heartfelt gratitude to His Excellency, the President of this country, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, and his lovely wife, the mama of this nation, the mother of the orphans of this country, a woman who has relentlessly ensured that one of the pillars of the SDGs, which is people, are being invested in. I want to thank you so much for that. Talking about prohibition of child marriage, we will relate this to the achievement made in the gender empowerment holistically. before 2018, from 1996, the records research showed that we only achieved 11% of the female parliamentarians in this house. And all leaders were only paying lip service to that. But in just one term, this leadership was able to achieve almost the threshold of what is required from a global platform. 30%. And today, when you look at records of early marriage, it's so worrisome that the UNFPA UN 2021 records of early child marriage says that Sierra Leone house 800,000 of early marriage. And out of that 800,000, they experience marriage before their 18th birthday. And 400,000 before their 15th birthday. What is that suggesting? That in over 25 years, there has been a decrease, but a slow pace, from 37 just to 30%. And the elimination target is set as at 2030. So let's assume we go with that pace. Where will we be by 2030? With just the Child Rights Act of 2007, 8 years into that 25-year span, we have just reduced by 7%. So what am I trying to say? That by the time we pass this bill today, the prohibition of early marriage, I want to assure this nation, I want to assure the world that with visionary leadership is also giving us another platform to achieve that target with a full-blown act that is going to give us the legal platform to ensure we enforce all those that are violating the rights of a child. I want to thank my sister, my Wanjamarian sister, for piloting this bill. What a generous decision. Let us look at section 4, subsection 1 of this, that has to talk about section 4, subsection 1 talks about obtaining consent by unlawful means. And that is the only place I have seen betrothal in this. But the experience we have, everybody has expressed what people do to evaluate.
Passionate you are about women. And I'm not a member of parliament, but I spend time with you every time I go to Mount Island, and I see the things that you do for your people, and I know how much you appreciate women and how much you want to empower them. And I am glad that this bill came to this parliament when you are seated there as the Speaker of Parliament. So I want to say thank you. Thank you so very much. Thank you to everybody. LinkedIn. I know how many times we had to go change this, come back. Myself and Zainab were so, I think we were just a pain. But thank you. Thank you for putting up with us. And thank you for the SO to go and come every day. Thank you. Mario, God help me. You know, if you are campaigning again, let it be in June. I'll be under the rain for you. Thank you so very much. I can't say thank you to the Speaker, because saying thank you to your brother would be more of a crime here. And everyone in this front row are my children. So I am not going to say thank you to you guys. I am only going to say my mission is your mission. And this is mission accomplished. But to all the women in this room right now, every one of you, I know you're going home today and you will be celebrating. Every one of you. Because I believe you understand why we are here. I know you know why we are here today. And I want to say to you, when you dare dream, please keep your dream alive and don't allow anybody to kill your dream. To the children who have sat here, I heard you say you don't have food and everything. We are all fasting today. Honestly, this is the first time, I'm so crazy about this. It's the first time that I had so many people, and I even forget that we need to eat. But I hope my team has taken care of that, and we are all happy, every one of you. But I want to say thank you to the police wives, the military wives, every one of you here. Sally Adams, are you still here? I want to say thank you to the Women's Forum for coming, Save the Children, every one of you for being here since this morning to write this evening. But you know what? I want to, permit me, Mr. Speaker, let me say thank you to my dearest husband, retired Brigadier Julius Maada. My husband is a man that believes that women should be given the opportunity to serve. Serve in a way not to overtake men, but to be able to contribute to nation building. And he gave me this space, and he had always believed in the things that I brought to him. This morning, he said to me, I'm going to a retreat. Are you sure you are okay? And for the first time, honorable members, we are dealing with a bill in this parliament, and Maada Bio had not said a word because he wanted to see if I am going to pull this off. He doesn't want to take over. He doesn't want to be seen as the one who will say, oh, Yuma, I need this bill. He refused. Yesterday, he was with the deputy speaker. And I said, oh, did you talk to the deputy speaker? He said, no, it's your job to talk to the deputy speaker. I said, okay, sir, no problem. And that is to show that he believed in me, and he believed what we have here today is going to happen. When he was leaving the auditing, he said, all the best. Whatever happens, just call me. If they agree, take it in good faith. If they don't, accept it and say it's the will of God, and we'll go back later. I want to say thank you to him and to every one of you. Abdulkadir, thank you. You promised and you've kept your promise. And I know you didn't promise because I'm the first lady. I know you promised because you wanted to save Sierra Leone too. Thank you. And for my brother who made me cry, you know, you have a special space in my heart, and I want you to know that. I want you to know I am, yes, your first lady, but please, from this day forward, see me as your sister. If there is anything that I need to do, don't hesitate. I know you are ABC, I know I can't change you, and you cannot change me too, I'm SNPP, but I know we can do wonders together. I want to say thank you, Daniel, thank you. When I listen to you speak, I'm saying to myself, it's so difficult to convince people who know it all, and when you speak, I know you know everything. Thank you for your support, every one of you. Thank you to the clerks, my God, because I understand that, you know, it is here that your IS will be changed to IT, and your THIS will be changed to THES. But I know that this is a bill that belongs to you, and please make it yours, and let us do it the right way. Thank you for your time, for being here, for staying here. All of you, thank you. If I'm going to say my special dinner, it's going to be for the Clerk of Parliament, every one of you. Because, you know what? If the speaker shine, it means you people are making him shine. And please make this man a great speaker that we will remember. I want to say thank you. Thank you to every one of you. So my women, thank you. I can't say anything. My journey is your journey is my journey. Thank you so very much. Women's Forum again. Thank you. JMB Women's and Associate members, thank you. My staff in the office, you see, Sano, the CSO is saying, what about him? Sano, all the CSOs that you represent, thank you. I know you're going to help us popularize this. To all my staff, thank you. But to this woman, the woman that has the tenacity to come into this well and say, today we have to end this. Thank you. May God bless you. May God multiply your grace. And that the doors that we will save, their blessing, the blessing that we will have, you will have 50% of that blessing, and we will all share the remaining 50. May God be on your side all the time. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you so very much. I'm grateful. Thank you to the Fourth Estate, every one of you. Please help us popularize this bill. May God bless you all. I don't even know if they passed the bill, but I just know it's a law, right? Make you see, I don't sabi parliament business. So the Minister of Education, the Minister of Education is here, who is also supported. The Minister of Gender was here also. Thank you, sir. Thank you for everything. I said to you, this is your bill, because it is your girls and your boys that we will be saving. So it's actually your bill. Thank you so very much for being here and for staying here and making sure we see the end of this today. God bless you all.
Lucky.
No. Yes, leader.
I just want to inform the House that I send a notice of motion in terms of ruling for the issue of absenteeism. Honorable colleagues have done the needful for the Speaker's ruling on absenteeism that has to do with both sections in the Constitution, in Section 77, and in the Constitution Act number 6, 1991, and also SO 77. So, with your leave, I know you have received it through the clerk's office, and I'm waiting for the ruling. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you to my director for helping me send out the notice to you, the final notice for your ruling. Thank you.
Yes, before my ruling, honorable members, we have a meeting on Monday. Honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, before you go,
yes,
I pleaded with you. We took a very long recess, so I approached your desk and I said I want us to sit on Monday on a very short one. So I'm looking at what SO5 1. I want to move the motion to take a resolution so we can sit on Monday. And let me assure my colleagues that it's only for because the volume of the document we have on CPA, and there are other things to follow, but purely we will not go beyond the CPA report on Monday. So I want to move that we adjourn for Monday next week. I so move stand on SO51, sir.
Yes, any seconder?
I saw second.
Yes, it's so second. All those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, before I pronounce the adjournment date, let me at this stage inform all members of Parliament that we have a meeting on Monday. Incidentally, we have this sitting at 10 o'clock. Immediately after the sitting, we have a meeting. Every member of Parliament. We are all going to sit together at Committee Room 1 and take certain decisions or arrive at certain conclusions relating to the affairs of this House. So please, I encourage and urge every member to be present at that meeting. Thank you very much. This sitting is adjourned to Monday, 24th June 2024, 10 a.m. prompt.
Rest.